Today's presentation is about who question. It's about the team that you need and how you integrate that with everything else that you do. And hopefully social media is not the only thing that you guys do. So how do you integrate that team is what I'm going to talk about. So while I would love to actually talk about a lot of case studies about how we use social media, unfortunately in today's presentation I won't have an opportunity to cover a lot of that, but I've actually weaved in wherever possible some examples, and if there are any questions, feel free to stop me or we can chat after the presentation. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to actually draw a picture for you in terms of what's the structure that we started with 3 years ago before we got into social media. What do we do in social media? That's what's the presence that we have in social media. Then what kind of resources do we have for social media? And lastly, how is that integrated into the structure that we started off with, and therefore what's the new structure? So this is what it was when we started. We have actually 5 different divisions within what's called customer service and communication, the business unit that I belong to. We do communication for the business units. We have an engagement and public engagement division. We have our own internal agency, and also 311 as part of what we do. And light blue, is where we stand. That's actually corporate marketing and communications. So within this division, we have we started off with 4 distinct lines of business, and as what Joseph was saying, we have corporate marketing, and that's management of all city marketing channels, TV, radio, print. Of course, I'm talking about 3 years ago, and also corporate communication, things such as annual report, corporate calendar, etc. Then we have media relations. It's a very typical media relation function. It's a management of the city newsroom. We also triage all the calls that come into the city, the media line, and also we have media training and coaching so that people stay with what they need to speak about. And the third line of business that we had was corporate employee communication. Again, very traditional ways of reaching out to people, but it also included an intranet. And we had certain other kind of employee communication tools, but mostly all print. And then we, of course, had web services, which is the management of Calgary.ca, which is our mother of all websites. And we, of course, did some web editing for some of our business units as well. So that is to kind of just give you a background of what we started off with 3 years ago. In terms of our social media presence, we are on Twitter. We have about 5,000 followers there. And we use Twitter for various different things. And in addition to reaching out to the public and a way of conversation with the public, Twitter also is a great channel for us in terms of positioning the stories with the media, because pretty much all reporters in Calgary follow us, and some of them outside Calgary as well. We also use it as a channel to communicate and interact and engage the public. But here is an extreme case scenario, and as if you're reading what you're seeing up there, this is about snow and ice situation. Someone actually gave us a fail grade for what the city was doing. So we engaged with that citizen in a conversation, asked where this is happening, and you can see there, within a matter of minutes, we turned from a fail to an epic win for the city of Calgary. This is the real-time power of social media. But the fact really between you and me and the video cameras, we had nothing to do with this really, because it just so happened that the truck was around and they actually got rid of the snow, but we got the credit for it. But the point really is that when you actually engage in a conversation with the citizens, I think there is a huge opportunity. I mean, being engaged in a conversation is not the option, but I think you've got huge opportunity to kind of provide the kind of services that they expect from us. And we have a news blog, and our intention really is to position the stories, the side of the story that is normally not, kind of presented by the media. So, and we have an integration strategy there. So when we actually talk about something like that, that was about launch of, I think, a new bike and pathway map. We also tweet out the same story. As you can see here, what's right at the bottom there. We are talking about, the very, the blog that you just now saw. And this is picked up by, of course, the interested people, citizens within Calgary, and they retweet and retweet. And it goes on. And in this case, I think we use something called Tweet Reach, by the way. I think this is a good tool if you're not already using it. And this not only shows how many people retweeted that story, in this case, 34 people, and it had a reach of 10,000 people and 14,000 impressions. So this is one way of finding out what's actually happening with the message that we have out there. We use video. Video is a big part of our strategy. We, in a matter of 3 years, went from producing a video every couple of months to 2 videos a day. And how we do this is not by we doing it ourselves with my corporate marketing team. It's actually by enabling the communicators and the people within the business unit to produce their own videos. We train them to do it, and we kind of do the heavy lifting for them where necessary, where they're not very comfortable doing the editing. We help them with the posting. We use multiple channels, video channels. We post all simultaneously using some tools. And we track and let them know what happened. So when one business unit sees the success, then the next one actually wants to do the same, so on and so forth. So we already have trained several communicators, and we have this little flip cameras we give them on loan so that they can edit and post the videos. This is. Do we have sound? This is one of the worst videos that we have done. The point that I want to make is that production quality is really bad, but this was one of the most successful videos in actually, kind of turning around a situation where there was a huge issue about breastfeeding in a swimming pool that's owned by the city, and people started kind of tweeting against the city, saying that city does not allow breastfeeding in the swimming pool. In fact, the real story really is that I think we do allow, and we had no policy against it. This is something that somebody reported in the media. Within a matter of an hour and a half, we actually had a city spokesperson, the pool supervisor, talking on video, saying that we have no such policy against breastfeeding in a pool, and we posted it on YouTube. So the conversation actually turned immediately from whether city allows or whether there is a policy against it to actually talking about whether it is actually hygienic to actually breastfeed in a pool. So the next day, a lot of activists were going to actually land up in the pool, but they actually became fans of the city instead of actually turning against the city. So that's actually the power of videos. So we do produce a lot of videos. We have a Facebook channel. This is from the recent election. Facebook, again, what we do is that we use Facebook for different campaigns and different programs, but we have also just recently launched a Facebook channel for the city of Calgary. We will see how that goes. We use user voice to engage the public, and here is an example of what we do with it. This was actually with the summer students, where people can actually go in and vote, for some ideas. Any of you familiar with Dell Idea Storm? Similar kind of concept. People can actually generate or put in new ideas, or can go and vote and actually promote an idea to the top. So we use this to engage the public in terms of conversations about different activities and programs that we have. We launched this internally first with the summer students, and that's again a learning that I want to pass on to you. Do small pilots, and learn from it before you go public in a big way with, the most controversial thing that you want to talk about. So that's what we are currently doing, and we are slowly releasing this to the public for various other things. And I have no idea why. Oh, yeah. Okay, there's a reason why this is here. So talking about doing small pilots, we also do text chat. And what we've done is that when we were launching Black Card, the manager for that area, we were actually helping our chat in real time with the public and answering questions and providing more information. We have done this for a couple of initiatives, again as a pilot, and hugely successful, and we use something called Cover It Live, and you may want to take a look at that as well. When we have then we have a newsroom where all of this come together. So we not only have the media advisories and press releases, and what I showed you earlier, the latest blog post comes together on this page, latest tweets, latest featured video, all this is available on this page. And by the way, if I'm moving too fast with these videos or any of these transitions, and if you have motion sickness, let me know. I know it's a little bit difficult. So moving on from our social media presence,